What is good, everybody? If you're as excited for New Comic Book Day as I am, you are in the right spot. Sit down, buckle up. It's time for New Comic Book Day Wednesday. Warning, no Hawkeye spoilers will be allowed tonight in our live stream. For the love of everything that is holy, I have not watched the episode yet. Please do not spoil it for anybody in the chat. No Hawkeye spoilers allowed. The message is pinned. Now on to bigger, greater things other than spoilers. Either way, I want to welcome everybody here in just a moment and thank you. We are back, baby. We are back to the regular Wednesday groove. C2E2, we did the recap. That was crazy. And now it's time to get back and it's time to get cozy and it's time to get wrapped up like a burrito and read some comics. Welcome, Comic Burrito. Hope you're here. Hope you're having a good night. And oh, man, do I feel like we got one hell of a value for this New Comic Book Day Wednesday. This is a little bit more than what's been my average. And what dropped this week? You guessed it, Berserker. Berserker is back. We're going to talk about Berserker. But before we talk about books, we're going to welcome everybody in the chat real quick. Then we're going to dip into these books. Then once we're done talking about the books, we're going to hit the chat one more time. Then we're going to go over some major announcements for the channel and everything that's going on. And then we'll recap the books for anybody that's showing up a little bit later. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and buckle up because you're in the Comic Dojo. And it is New Comic Book Day Wednesday. And if you're not here in a good mood, then you will be in a good mood very shortly once we get this ball rolling. We had M3 Lines information booth hanging out, buddy. What is good? Hey, he says. Then he's heading back to bed. He's going to catch us on the replay. Thank you, brother. Thanks for the support. Good to see you. We got Paul Dunn in the house. Hey-o. Brother from another mother, it is once again good to see you. Your books are still packed away safely and secure. Yes, here we are. Please, while everybody is rolling into the chat right now, no Hawkeye spoilers tonight. If you've seen Hawkeye, please hold on to that at least for the next few hours. I don't know, I'm sure there are plenty here in the chat that have not seen Hawkeye. I'm getting text message warnings from really good friends. Brian at Simpleman's Comics and some others have said, caution, be on the lookout, stay away from Hawkeye spoilers. So something must have happened. I can't wait. This show is New Comic Book Day, though. We'll talk about Hawkeye in another time. This chat's jumping. People are rolling in here. Zuni, little fist bump action. Once again, great getting to, is it Monday all over again? It was great getting a chance to spend time with you and Come On Mama and your family at C2E2. And I can't wait to do it again. We need to do like a local small con meetup down there where you guys are at. That'd be good. Come On Mama says it was so good for, must have been Hawkeye. No Hawkeye spoilers, please. If I scroll down the chat and I see the Hawkeye word, I'm going to stop reading the chat and just go right into the books. Man, we've got the man, the myth, the legend. Welcome, the great Herminio Reyes Jr. is in the house. That's my weekly warm-up from Big Herm Collectibles. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Always a pleasure seeing you, man. Once again, saying hi to everybody. Happy New Comic Book Day. Who else we got rolling in here? What is up, Daywalker? 1969. Cannot wait for the next C2E2. We'll have to grab a beer together. That C2E2 was so busy. We all have to make time and do some sort of I feel like we need a booth. I feel like everybody, all the content creators and all the IGers, everybody needs a booth where we can all hang out at. Holy moly. If you're not fired up yet, you guys should be fired up. Mark, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. A little wave. Hopefully your Monday is done Mondaying because Mondays need to not Monday, so Monday, and then Monday all over the next Monday. And yes, like I said, John's Comics with Kids, like I said, good to see you guys. We're going to get into these books, but some breaking news with no Hawkeye spoilers. Breaking news tonight. I've heard, this is breaking news, Australia's new #1 export is now the boomerang. And it just so happens to be its new #1 import. Huh? Let that sink in. Get it? Get it? All right. New Comic Book Day is here. We've got a great deal of reads here. Monday is definitely going to Monday. Mojo Kid Quid, what is up, man? Good to see you here. Where is Don Davis? Brother, we bought a DC book this week. Holy moly, we have a DC book. Robin and Batman from Lemire and Wen. I am digging the artwork in this. I'm digging Lemire's take on a Batman story. In fact, this isn't even a Batman story. This is not as oh no. John said he saw that joke coming from both directions. That one hit me right in the back of the head. I'm really digging what Lemire's doing here. This essentially isn't even a Batman story. This is a Robin story with Batman included, and some great ties to Alfred. And you really see the dynamic that's kind of happened here with Dick Grayson and Batman and Alfred and everything that's going on. And I just don't know if there was a really big plan or if they kind of just sat down, 3-issue miniseries. Let's go make it about Robin and have some fun with it. And I'm kind of enjoying that. I'm kind of enjoying the fact that it's just a small little snippet of Dick Grayson. And I'm going to be kind of sad that it's only going to be 3 issues. So DC book, great read, great art. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I felt like I was kind of looking for some more depth and layers, but maybe that was just me kind of expecting it because, you pick up a DC book that's related to Batman and all of a sudden you think you got to work real hard at the read. No, this was very enjoyable. I'm glad that I listened to a lot of you guys and picked that up, issue 1, and then now I'm on to issue 2. Great comic stories this week, John. Mars was great. Absolutely. Good to see you guys. And there's the boomerangs from Daywalker. So moving on from DC to Marvel, we now have issue 12 of Star Wars: The High Republic. I didn't get a chance to sit down and read this. I'm digging the covers though. Like I've said in the past, and like many other collectors out there, I'm pretty much buying everything Star Wars. And whether or not I actually have time to read it, I'm setting it aside because it just seems like the second you stop buying Star Wars stuff is the second you miss like a key book that eventually, you'd rather pay cover price than pay way more than cover price on the secondary market. So sometimes it's much easier to just have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. What did one snowman say to the other snowman? Luke's Comics says, "Do you smell carrots? Did you buy all the covers or cut back?" I did cut back on some books. Come on, mama. But we'll get to the Star Wars. Yeah, no, I didn't cut back on Star Wars, which is oddly enough, Marvel cut back for me that I only received up to a 1 in 25, which I have to look at League of New Comic Geeks to League of New Comic Geeks to see if there was a 1 in 50 or anything. I don't think there was. There was just a 1 in 25 that I saw the LCS, and if there was another one, they would have let me know. Star Wars High Republic, then the variant right there. Adding that to the stack. And then the 1 in 25 Wingard variant. I am terrible with names. There's the 1 in 25. So picked up all of those. Strain, absolutely. I am definitely straining. I hope you guys are definitely, he said, station. Monday's gonna Monday, but Wednesday, sometimes just Monday's even harder than a Wednesday. So that's it for Marvel books. Only 3 Marvel books. I'm pretty sure I missed something on the rack, and I walked up and down a couple of times, and there was a couple empty spots. So something in Marvel either got hot or got under ordered, and I missed out. I was pretty late to the LCS today, but either way, moving on to IDW. I just added IDW next simply because the next set of Star Wars books right behind there was the Star Wars Adventures, the 2021 annual. This should be a pretty good week. Wednesday was Monday this week. Today is Monday. Yes, Paul is 100% accurate. And then the annual had a cover B with it as well. There you go. And while my brain processes the fact that I didn't have everything in order because I done goofed, there was also, I could have sworn there was a variant to Star Wars High Republic Adventures. A ratio. No, maybe not. Either way, sticking with IDW, moving right along. This month will be the last big haul, definitely cutting down for the new year. Big Herm, I agree. We're going to be making, we're going to be reviewing our goals for 2021, see how successful or not successful we were on those goals, and then creating goals for 2022. Because I can tell you right now, goals for 2021 were to cut back on new comic book day expenditures, and I did not cut back anywhere near as much as I needed to. There were a lot of great titles I had to pick up though, and we'll get into that a little bit. Some of those great titles are now halfway done, and some of them just kind of aren't owning up to what they should be. So it's time to look at cutting back on some stuff. So still with IDW Turtles 124, adding that to the reading list. I almost picked up cover B, the Eastman cover B, because I had the really cool rooftop scene with the funny Christmas sweater. We talked about that on Simpleman's Comics News Weekly last night, and I'm like, you know what, Andy, you should grab it. It's a Turtles cover. It's a great Eastman Turtles cover. But at the end of the day, I realized the last year I haven't been buying any of the Turtles cover Bs because I was cutting back, right? So it seemed really odd to sit there and just go through a collection, have all cover A's and then one cover B for Christmas. So I'm like, there were a few there. I'll think about it. Yeah, Paul says that every month. Cutting back. It's time tonight. I got a couple more reads that I want to do after this show. It's time tonight to sit down and actually send an email to my LCS to drop or cut back on a couple of things. Nothing major. I'm not ending my pull list by any means, but I definitely need some breathing room the next 6 to 8 weeks to figure some things out and definitely see what's in previews and what's going to be important. We all know Saga is coming back next month. We are almost to that 4 week mark. We're at about 5 weeks away from Saga dropping. That is going to be one big mega new comic book day. And what was out recently, hit the shelves today, was that trade paperback collection from Saga that apparently has new cover art on the trade paperback covers. I didn't order one because I'm like, well, I already have all the trades. So what's the only thing different? Just the slipcase? The guys at my LCS said, no, it's not just the slipcase, but there apparently was new cover art on the trade paperbacks. They hadn't cracked one open yet, but we were reading the side. So I had those guys slip one in my pull box for me to grab next time because it's not cheap by any means. It was well over $100 for that collection. Augustine Mohandis, how is it going for you? Thank you for being here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're on new comic book day adventure here down in the Comic Cave and Comic Dojo, and we are not even halfway through the books. So we are moving on to Image from IDW, and I will continue to say this every time this issue comes out, and I will continue to pick this up. I am forever grateful that I can relive the Walking Dead experience issue to issue every other week right now, because this is just one of those reads where it's, you first read it and then years go by and then you haven't read it in a while. Next thing you know, experiencing this issue to issue every other week is kind of just that elbow to the face, like, oh my God, this is nuts. So issue 29 is out right now. Issue 27 was the last page, was that introduction to the governor, right? Issue 27. Issue 28 was a pivotal issue in the series. So spoilers, if you haven't read The Walking Dead, you need to read The Walking Dead. And it's been out for so long. Who hasn't read it? Issue 28 is the issue that something major happens to Rick and it becomes life-altering for him through the series, and that the relationship of hate really develops for the governor. Not only that, but Glenn is tossed in basically a storage unit and locked up. Rick is in the doctor's office, if you will, if you want to call it that, even like the makeshift hospital, makeshift doctor's office, sitting there all drugged up. And Michonne is tied up, and cover your ears, anybody, any little children. Michonne is tied up and just brutally beaten, and many other things. I'm not going to go into very big detail, but this is one of the first comic books that I read where that situation really made my skin crawl and made me feel uncomfortable and really stood out. And this chunk of books, when they meet the governor, 27, 28, and 29, is really when you start to realize that The Walking Dead, before they've ever said anything, The Walking Dead, the story of The Walking Dead isn't a story of zombies. It's the story of what's left of humanity and the loss of innocence and the loss of their own humanity and the things they go through. Robert Kirkman killed it with the character development on this, killed it with the writing. And the fact that I and anybody else that's on the bandwagon with this get to relive this issue to issue every other week is phenomenal. As you can tell, this, I think, is so far my favorite cover out of the entire Walking Dead Deluxe run so far. For those of you that have read it, you'll recognize this quite readily is this is the governor's living room where he sits down after a hard day of pillaging and not enough things that's definitely going to get him put on Santa's naughty list. Sits down and puts his feet up, and his entertainment for the end of the day is a wall of aquariums full of severed heads. And if I remember the quote correctly or the line correctly, there's 57 channels and there's nothing on, counting for how many severed heads he has collected. So nuts, right? Absolutely nuts. So this is where The Walking Dead really starts spinning up and really starts getting nasty for me, anyways. Like, my brain hurts kind of thinking about it. Like, it's not graphically depicted on the page. Some things are implied and implied heavily, but to think that that's where humanity's at in this situation, you as a reader begin to feel that loss of hope, and you as a reader almost feel like you're losing your own innocence in reading this. And he really drags you through the mud on this. So Robert Kirkman, bravo again. And I am so thankful that I get to relive this. Am I really thankful that I get to relive it? It's gritty. It's good though. It's gritty. But God, I could spend another 10 minutes on this book. Moving along. Mountain Peak Comics. What is good? Thanks for being here. Dale of Suspense is now in the house. The boy who had 7. What is up, brother? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. We are about the halfway point for the books. Anybody else show up that I missed? I hope that Comic Book Principal is here. Good to see you as well. The Walking Dead is awesome in color. Yes, absolutely. And I think once this series is done, the re-release, the deluxe, I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to read the trades in black and white. And then I'm definitely going to get the hardcover editions and all that jazz there and make sure that I've got a bookshelf for that. So next up from Image is Primordial. This has been a head trip of a read. I haven't read this issue yet, but Lemire and Sorrento, man, Gideon Falls. It took me a minute to get there. Gideon Falls. If you've read Gideon Falls and you love Gideon Falls, this is just as much of a head trip. And the art in here delivers layers and volumes of storytelling that you'd never expect. I mean, like if you've never read like Lemire, like this creative team of Lemire and Sorrento, it's gonna blow your mind. So Primordial has been a fantastic read. I'm expecting good things from issue 4 here. This is on the reading block for tonight. So that's going right there. And then moving right along, still with Image. I forgot that I had this on the pull list. Newburn issue 1. I got into it, and it's just one of those ones where I'm gonna have to absorb it. This is kind of one of those. It's a style of storytelling. Zdarsky's got this style of storytelling with a story like this that I don't immediately fall in love, but sometimes I have to reread it a couple times to really get the full value for me. But that's just me. Moving right along. Moving on to Dark Horse, actually, and I feel terrible that this hits the reading pile, and I have not been able to keep up with it. But May's book, I've heard really good things from a lot of people. It's Lemire, right? Are you guys seeing a trend yet with the creative teams, the writers, and the artists? There's a bit of a trend here in my reading preferences. But that's why you guys are here, to tell me what I'm missing out on and what I'm definitely sleeping on. And you guys can make fun of me for it later. So May's book hits the reading block for later tonight, and now it's time to make some room because holy shit, we've got to make some room. We've got the rest of the books coming up, and you guessed it, Berserker is back. Berserker is definitely back, and I am not gonna lie, I'm thankful for the short hiatus that Berserker took, considering all the other boom titles that were dropping. We're going to dip into this. We're going to talk about this. So cover A is here. Cover A is all right, right? Definitely pulled that open and read that first thing. That was actually the second book. Robin and Batman from DC was the first book I grabbed when I got home and I read. Berserker was the second one. So I want to talk a little bit about Berserker. Has anybody here tonight in the chat read Berserker yet? Does anybody else feel like they are a little under-delivered on this story? And I got to be honest with you. We're at the halfway point now. Originally, when this was marketed or sold, Berserker was only supposed to be a 6-issue miniseries or 6-issue run. So they were going to tell the entire story of Berserker in 6 issues. Paul has not read the newest one, so I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything like that, but we're going to get into some of these covers. The Comic Book Principal said yes. I want to know from you guys what you felt like. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it just average? I'm feeling like issue 6 was kind of average. delivered a couple of really cool points, but I feel like what happened is they took a story that they had written for 6 issues, and instead of rewriting it or redesigning it, I think they just kind of took it and just stretched it. I feel like oftentimes feel like they're dragging it out, comic book principle. Like I almost feel like we're talking about two sides of the same coin. Like comic book principle says feels like they're dragging it out. I feel like not kind of, but what I feel like is where they had a page that was planned for something to happen, and then I feel like they just kind of inserted extra. Like say there's a portion of the book where Berserker and another soldier are basically like walking through mountains or walking through a forest. But that kind of drags out a little bit. Lost their mojo. Like they just added another page of walking through the mountains. I feel like every issue they just kind of added panels or they just kind of added pages. So I feel like every issue we get like a couple of sprinkles of seeds of like actual like plot or something cool. Like, I feel like even the portions between the action are kind of dragging out a little bit too. Like they're just kind of filling in those areas in between like the adrenaline rushes. So I feel like what they've done is they actually have taken the story and kind of spread it out a little bit. And in doing so, they lost their pacing. By losing their pacing, they're actually taking away from the full on delivery of the story, in my opinion. Now, this is, yeah, literally, just like I said, it's just my opinion. There are people out there that could be absolutely in love with the pacing of Berserker and how it is. I feel like if they would have delivered it in the original 6-issue series like they had originally marketed and talked about, we would be feeling very differently about the pacing and then the action, and it would be very hard hitting, in my opinion. How many times am I going to say my opinion tonight? So moving right along with Berserker, next cover, I actually do like this quite a bit and thought this was really cool. And I didn't even think about it. They only had a couple of the covers on League of New Comic Books, League of New Comic Geeks last night. They only had a couple of covers on, not all of them were up. And I saw that one of the covers was titled the Kirkham cover. So I don't know when they put those up, but I wasn't able to see them last night. This is a really cool cover. And then I turned around and I'm going through my pull list, and I was really actually kind of tickled pink to see that they foiled it out. The red looks really good. I love foil covers. I really do love foil covers. The Pat, what is good, man? Thanks for being here. We are at the tail end of the books. Then we'll go over some announcements, and then we'll do a recap here. And then they took cover A and they foiled that out as well because that's what they've been doing regularly. But let me get to the good part. Let me get to the good part here. Now we get into the ratio variants. 1 in 25, basically a virgin variant of cover A. Okay, it's all right. But here we go. Now we're talking. We've got the Kirkham 1 in 50. Tyler Kirkham 1 in 50 is fantastic, in my opinion. I love the fact that they brought Tyler Kirkham in on this. And they did a killer tank cover, like a World War I tank cover. I am really digging that. I am tickled pink that I actually didn't get to see it last night because I got to the LCS today. I was like, holy crap, this is really good. And you guys that know me fairly well know that I buy books based on cover art as much as I do about reads, right? I am a cover collector as well as a reader of comics. So this is one of those guilty pleasure series right now where a lot of the covers I've really been striving to grab and make sure that I have all of them on my pull list so I don't miss out. So there's the 1 in 50 Kirkham. Then we have the 1 in 100. I'm actually kind of cool. Actually kind of happy that they did this is they did a virgin variant of cover B with that brick wall with all the gunshots and him still standing there up and standing alive. Digging that. The Burly Irishman, what is up, peoples? Hope everyone's new comic book day is going well, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Yes, Merry Christmas is only a week from this Saturday. Good Lord. Now, last book of the night, the 1 in 150 Berserker, Tyler Kirkham Virgin variant, and I am digging this. I am really digging this. So, even the 1 in 50 being kind of a minimal trade dress delivers something pretty cool. But the fact that the 1 in 150, they go virgin variant, this is the book that should have been foiled out. If this was foiled out, this probably would have been the hot book of the week or been a chase book of the week. Issue 6, I got to look into it. I got to reread issues 1 through 5, obviously. Issue 6, you guys don't kill me if I'm wrong here, because I could definitely be wrong. Might be a first appearance in there. There is a character that shows up near the end that I don't recall seeing in the earlier issues. It is very possible that that character was, so I got to go back and reread it. Issue 6 might have a first appearance. I could be wholeheartedly wrong, and if I'm wrong, say something down in the chat down below. Let me know, because it's been a hot minute since I've read issues 2, 3, and 4, and I think there's a possibility that that character might have already appeared in either 3 or 4. But if it's not the same character, then this is a first appearance. So, like I said, we've got a series that was intended to be 6 issues that stretched to 12 issues. I feel like you get a couple of sprinkles per issue of actual like plot line or advancement in the plot line. So it's starting to drag out. But the collector side of me and the cover collector side of me is kind of like working to team up with the reader side of me and realize get each other to realize that oh man, we want to continue on with the series, not just because we want to see how the story ends, but we know that there's 6 more issues coming out with some variants, and we don't want to miss out on any of the variants. Not saying anything from 7 to 12 is going to have some variants that blow up on the secondary market. That's probably not going to happen. We all know the first 1 to 4 or 5 issues in a series, that's usually where the hotter issues are at, where a lot of the first appearances are at, and anything beyond that, if it's not a long-running series, if it's a mini series, 6 or 12 issues, then pretty much everything from 4, 5, or 6 and on, people stop ordering, people cut off their pull list, order numbers get lower, but they're not going to stop printing these in heavy copies. So if there's nothing major that happens as far as first appearances and potential characters that we could see on screen, then I don't foresee issues 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all those issues actually doing a whole lot, which is interesting because a funny thing, these ratio variants were really cheap. These ratio variants were way, way, way under ratio pricing, so to speak. Way under ratio pricing. So either my LCS gave me a really good deal because I've been buying all the ratios, or they're dirt cheap on eBay right now and they're kind of adjusting because of that. I don't know. So those are the issues. We're going to hit up the chat because Average Will is in the house tonight. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. Average Will, I think you have a Whatnot auction scheduled this Saturday. If not, it's this Friday. Can't remember. I got you on that. I follow you there, and I make sure to hit those notification buttons so that I don't miss out when you do go live on Whatnot. We got the Pat in the house. Good to see you. Comic Book Principal, they're losing their mojo. Yes. Just like a Last Ronin has taken extremely long breaks in between issues, Berserker hasn't taken the same long breaks, but the way they're delivering the books and the way they're kind of like adding filler and not meat to that kind of stretches it out and kind of makes it one of those things where it's like they might as well have been taking a break, because I feel like the pacing's kind of really pulled apart there. What's up, peoples? Yes, good to see you, Burly Irishman. Thank you for being here. Isn't it ironic? Berserker is probably the title with the most covers every month. Actually, House of Slaughter blew Berserker out of the water, if I remember correctly. House of Slaughter blew Berserker out of the water, and Berserker issue 1 actually had a higher print run than House of Slaughter number 1. But now it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because you can see that they pushed back Berserker for the House of Slaughter drop and maybe some other things. So now Berserker's dropping right before Christmas instead of a month or 2 ago. How long has Berserker been gone? 2 months? I feel like it's been 2 or 3 months since the last Berserker issue. And it was kind of strategically planned, in my opinion, that they didn't want to drop Berserker the same week that House of Slaughter was going to drop, because that was kind of like the timetable. If Berserker was going to continue coming out every month, Berserker would have dropped either the week before, the week of, or it's like right in that window that House of Slaughter dropped. So you don't want to cannibalize your customer base or your collectors and have them have to buy $300 or $400 worth of comics on New Comic Book Day, because they're like me, like completionist collector of modern comics. I want to read the story, but if I'm reading the story, I'm really enjoying it, then I want to have all the covers as well. So you all know that if they drop Berserker and House of Slaughter at the same time, you're going to sit there and have to pick one or the other. You're going to have to pick one or the other. A lot of people, unless you are a millionaire and you have that budget and you can buy everything in the store and you want to, and that's fine too. But a lot of comic collectors like myself, we're eventually going to get to that point where that stack's just too manageable. There's just not enough there. And I'm like, you know what? Let me move on from this. I'm already talking about that with a lot of the Star Wars reads. I'm already talking about with House of Slaughter Berserker, I'm going to see to the end. Berserker, I'm going to see to the end just because I kind of like what they're doing with a lot of the foil stuff. And House of Slaughter too, but House of Slaughter, I think, is one that I'm going to drop down to cover A. Either way, I digress. We're moving along in the chat here. Holy moly. Everybody's saying hi. Mitch, good to see you. Thanks for being there, man. Being here. Saturday at 8 p.m. Average Will says, very cool. You know what? That's probably one of the announcements I want to roll into. Average Will is going at 8, and there's a couple of people after Average Will. I think I'm just going to run a very short auction from 7 to 8 or 7 to 7:30 before Average Will goes, because announcement right now, buckle up, don't go anywhere. We are going to be giving away an Invincible variant on Whatnot. We're going to be giving away one of the Invincible variants for a follower giveaway. If I can get all my ducks in a row and you see that live show get scheduled for this Saturday, it'll be a short one. I'll have like 10 or 15 books up, do 30-second auctions, and we're going to be doing a follower giveaway. So if you are not following on Whatnot, don't slip, don't lose that. If you are not following on Whatnot, now's your chance to follow on Whatnot, because the cutoff for the follower giveaway for these books is going to be like Friday night or Saturday morning. Because then what happens is I contact Whatnot seller support, and I have them send me the list of followers. Once that list of followers is sent to me and I copy and paste it in the wheel for the giveaway, that's it. Which means everybody joining as a follower that night is going to be getting into the next giveaway, because there are additional copies to do for follower giveaways on Whatnot. So there's Invincible variants to give away. There's the Omni-Man trade to give away. I'm excited to do that. If you guys aren't pumped about that, all you have to do is follow. Like literally, you don't even have to buy anything. Download Whatnot, go over, follow ComicManAndy, search ComicManAndy, follow ComicManAndy, and look for that auction to get scheduled from 7 to 8 or 7 to 7:30 Saturday. Like I said, it'll be a short one, 10, 12 books, 15 books maybe. It's about sitting down, unwinding, and having fun with everybody. And we'll at the sometime in the middle of that or at the end of that, we're just going to have everybody's names from that list, copy, paste it, put it on a wheel. We're going to spin it, and we're going to send that to somebody as a follower giveaway. Holy moly, what is going on? Like we said, follower giveaway on Whatnot. You got to download Whatnot, and you got to be there for that. That's one of the announcements that we're rolling into right now. So then all of the books that we've been through, we will go through again and recap one more time once we get caught up on this chat. DOT has a lot too. Yes, Department of Truth does have quite a bit. Mr. Paul Dunn, good evening, sir. How are them Devils doing? Yes, hockey. It is hockey season. I love some hockey just like everybody else. Michael, good to see you, man. What is up, guys? Boss Equals Books. Yeah, I am full of nothing but typos tonight as well. Planet Arizona Comics is in the house. What is going on? What's up, Andy? Catch you on the drive home and catch me on the replay if you can't catch everything. No freaking way. Yes, Burly Irishman, we are doing Invincible giveaways. Is that what you're saying? No freaking way? Yes. C2E2 with Whatnot was the most epic C2, was the most epic con experience I've ever had. And while we were there, the guys from Whatnot said, Andy, it's time to do some follower giveaways for you. Here's a couple of books. Reward those followers on Whatnot. That's what we're going to do there. And you never know. We might give one of those away on YouTube as well. Cross-platform, right? Cross-platform on YouTube. Follower giveaways? Heck yeah. We got to figure out how we're going to be able to do that. Dale Walker says claim. Yes, claim away. I would love to claim a copy as well. Andy is going to auction off my folios. No. We're actually going to start pulling those apart and getting those ready to bag, board, pack here pretty soon. Like I said, we'll figure that out very shortly. All of the Whatnot books from the auction over at C2E2 that have been packed, shipped, done. Anybody looking for updates, please message me. Everything is out there. Hoping to get to you guys before Christmas. I know a number of people contacted me and said that they were making those purchases on Whatnot as Christmas presents. Those people that contacted me from that auction, contacted me on IG from that Whatnot auction, said they were buying Christmas presents. They got prioritized at the very front of the list. So I apologize if anybody was just a half a day delayed getting the packages out. But the people that contacted me said, hey, I'm getting this as a Christmas present for a friend or this friend. They definitely got prioritized and pushed up front for that package to get out to hopefully make it before Christmas. So I would definitely appreciate the same if I contacted somebody for that. So I wanted to do that for those individuals. I didn't get a notification that you were going live. I guess I should check my settings. So you know what? Are you talking about YouTube? YouTube has been funny with notifications. Notifications have not been great. I'm getting almost no notifications for a lot of my favorite channels. And then I noticed that the old CEO of the dojo on her YouTube account, she gets zero notifications for my account for some reason, even though she has the bell notification, everything turned on. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if that's because of the same IP address or same household or whatever, but she gets no notifications when I go live. Very weird. Who is the fourth most dangerous supervillain? Oh, Poison Ivy. Good gravy, man. Good gravy. That is a good one. A tiny Andy, yes, came running down to say goodnight to everybody. Well past his bedtime, too. Little Monster is going to be a little monster. Hey, it's the other comic man. What is up, little dude? Go Bruins. Yes, absolutely. Andy, is it true the Saga Turkish variants are small? Yes. You know what? The Pat, 2 seconds. The 20 of you guys that are here watching, 2 seconds. I will grab those to show because that is a great question to ask. So the Saga Turkish variants are smaller than a regular comic book. Not by a lot, but by just a little bit. So as you can see, this is a Silver Age top loader, and you can see there's a good 1.5 inch gap up top, and there's a fair bit of gap on the sides. So actually, let's do this number right here. There you go. So those Saga Turkish variants are a fair bit smaller. Not like an ash can. They're bigger than an ash can, but they are smaller than a standard comic book. So it'll be interesting to see what CGC does when they start grading these and casing them. I don't know. It's not going to end up in a magazine case. I guess it'll just be like one of those things where they grade the really small ash cans. It'll just have a lot of bear case around it. But there you go. Pat, thanks for that question. If so, I think it'll be an issue at CGC, just like when I got back my last Ronins, they kind of made some custom slabs. So the last Ronins, they actually put them in magazine slabs, if I remember right. These being smaller, they're not quite, they're thicker than a regular comic book, but they're kind of like an annual. It's not square bound by any means, but they're about the same thickness of an annual. So they should, makes you kind of wonder. This should fit in a standard CGC slab. I guess whoever's the first to send books out, contact us, let us know. These are going to hit the next batch to go out to CGC as well. Definitely want to chase 9/8 for the run, for the collection. Just like when I got my last runs, they kind of made some custom slabs. Yeah, I don't want them in, I definitely don't want them in the big magazine slabs at all by any means either. But busting your chops, Paul Dunn says, I watched some of your live sale from C2E2. That was some energy. I could have busted through while saying, oh, yeah. Brother, I'm glad you were there. I'm glad you were part of that. I only wish I would have had another phone out recording myself for that content to bring, because normally doing a Whatnot auction, it doesn't click in my head or think to record that because I'm using music that's copyrighted. That's actually made me feel like I want to start using some non-copyrighted music so that I can record some more of that, because that's a ton of fun. That was a ton of energy. I literally had people coming up to me and said, hey, I could hear you clear from the middle of the floor out there. Holy shit. That was the goal. I wanted to be loud. I wanted to be proud. I wanted to shut off all of my filters and just be me and be real with everybody on Whatnot. And I had so much fun. People scored some amazing deals. Kanto #1 retailer incentive, the retailer exclusive, the 1 in 10, went for $600 some odd in a 9/8. Last sale of that book was over $1,000. So somebody got a credible deal on that. Moving right along with the chat here. Dave's collection just followed you on Whatnot. Dave, thank you so much. Stay tuned to Whatnot. In fact, after I'm done here, before I get into some more books, I'm basically just going to go on there. I don't know what books we're going to put up yet, but it's just going to be a follower giveaway. If I don't have any books picked out by then, I'm literally going to let people, hit that follow button, and we're just going to go live long enough to do a follower giveaway. We'll give away at least an Invincible Omni-Man or a regular Invincible trade, one or the other. We'll give away one to somebody and say, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. If we do it Saturday, it might not get there before Christmas, but we'll try. You know what I mean? Which is why we might throw in some extra books with the follower giveaway, because if we bump up the weight, get it over a pound, it becomes priority. And it goes priority. Maybe we get lucky for that. So Dave's collection, thanks for following on Whatnot. Got to witness it live. Andy in the auction was something to see. That was nuts, man. You guys think I have a lot of fun and a lot of good energy here with you guys. I'm drawing energy from you guys. There was so much energy, unlimited amount of energy, unlimited power at C2E2 to draw from with Big Clutch, Kirkham over there. That was epic. The guys from Whatnot were epic. Skeff was in the house. Zuni was in the house. Oh, there were so many people. Comic Talks, the number of people that were there to draw energy from was absolutely epic. And even though it was the end of Saturday and people were running a little bit low, our powers combined, here is ComicManAndy at 1 million volts. And it was dope. Paul did get a snippet. It turned out pretty good. I can't wait to clip that into C2E2. That's another announcement. C2E2, I'm going to be combining that footage and actually making like a 10 to 20 minute video for the C2E2 experience to release on the channel. We still have the Baltimore footage that needs to be done first, though. So it's time to buckle up and knuckle down, buckle up. Yeah, one of those, knuckle up, buckle down, one of those things, and actually get some of that stuff done. So how do they stop smaller books from moving in the CGC case? That's a great question. Actually take a look at the smaller ash cans and the smaller books to see how they do it. I think what they do is normally the plastic that the book is inserted, I think they use that same plastic and they just seal around a smaller section for those smaller books to keep it from moving around. I'm really interested in looking into that now, Luke. In fact, maybe I should just go buy some of that stuff so we can crack them and open them on the channel and just see how those tick, man. Must be all the Marine Corps cadence calling. Yes, not going to lie. That's definitely part of it. And when you got the great Herminio in your chat every week, you get to practice. And that's part of it. When you really start, you don't talk from here. You talk from down here. You use everything from down below in that diaphragm, and it gets good. It's a lot of damn fun. 1.21 gigawatts. You definitely know it. I blame Mama and Zuni. I looked up and saw Mama and Zuni and Skeff and everybody out there, and my energy level quadrupled to 1 million. It was so dope. They brought the energy. They absolutely did. Between you, Skeff, and Winking. Oh my God, Skeff and Winking were absolutely epic as well. They did a hit parade unboxing, and somebody scored a mega G.I. Joe 21 newsstand signed by, was it Larry Hama? No. Who signed that? I don't recall. Graded copy. That was signed. Yellow label. So dope. And I immediately marched over to the hit parade booth, and I'm like, I want some of those boxes. It was our fault for sure, Paul. Need to teach me to be louder, Paul. We can do classes. We can do a Whatnot clinic. Ooh, Burly Irishman. Yes. So who wants to see a recap of the books? There are 22 people in here. For anybody that has not been here from the beginning, JLS just showing up. What is good? We will recap the books here real quick. Then we'll recap the announcements before closing out. I've come to find out that this Wednesday New Comic Book Day show fitting into an hour has been fantastic. You get the first run of people that watch the first 20 or 30 minutes. Then you get the next round of people that catch it on the backside. And then you get people watching on the replay that works really good. So we're going to recap the books here. And boy, I moved everything all around on myself. And like we said, announcements. There will be announcements that you're not going to want to miss. If you're just showing up, you do not want to miss the announcements. We will lightning round the New Comic Book Day books so that we can get into those epic announcements. Because like we said, Image Comics New Burn. I read the first one. I need to reread it a couple more times to see if it's something I'm going to keep on my pull list. It's Chip Zdarsky. I buy everything that's Chip Zdarsky. Not everything is a slam dunk for me as far as content or as far as the story. So then moving on to IDW Star Wars, the annual Star Wars Adventures. This is the annual cover B. That is definitely the cover B. Oh my God, those are $7.99? $8? Wow. Star Wars High Republic 1-25 ratio variant right there. Star Wars High Republic cover A. This was the cover A, wasn't it? Yes, that was a really good. I actually enjoyed that quite a bit with the red in the background, the green lightsaber up front. Ooh. I think I overheard somebody somewhere in Comic News Weekly over on Brian's channel that either High Republic or High Republic Adventures may have been possibly a new first appearance. So I got to get in there and read that and find out what's going on. Lemire's Maze book, again, unfortunately hits the reading pile. I don't want to miss out on this, but now I kind of feel like because it's issue 4 out and I still haven't caught up on it, maybe I should have just waited and read it on the trade paperback format. Either way, Primordial. Now, if you've read Gideon Falls, this team of Jeff Lemire and Sorrento is just bangers when it comes to content here. Like Lemire writes killer stories, then Sorrento actually adds multiple layers of storytelling within the art. You find yourself going back and rereading because you end up missing things in the art, and then it becomes kind of like a hunting game. Like, what else did I miss? And then you go back through the series again, and you're like, oh, okay, I got some added value from there. And like, but did I miss something else? Let's read it again. So the replay value, so to speak, of this creative team is actually really high in my opinion. What did the supervillain say to the fish when he caught it? This is the end of the line for you. Oh, yeah, that one, you really cast that joke out there hoping to catch something, didn't you? Luke, good to see you, man. Yes, which push us at The Walking Dead Deluxe. I am forever grateful that I get to relive this experience issue to issue. Now, issue 27, last page was first appearance of the governor. Cameo. No, it's the first appearance. 27 is the first appearance. If not, I got to go back because the covers are different. So I can't really remember if it was 27 or 28. 28 is the issue where we definitely see Rick getting something chop, slice, slice. And you're like, holy sheet. So that's life changing for Rick. And now we get into that tail issue of that and into this. And now things get really gritty and graphic and kind of uncomfortable to read. If you haven't read this is one of the ones that kind of kicks you right in the gut. And you're like, oh, crap, this is where they're at. You as a reader almost begin to lose your own humanity and your own innocence too. He really drags you through the mud and really brings you along for the ride, so to speak. Well done, Robert Kirkman. Well done on a fine storytelling adventure. Because it's not a good story if you don't find yourself hating some characters or find yourself cringing as well, or even your own little bit of corner of pain, so to speak, when you're reading a story. That's how you know a story is really good, when you're feeling emotions, when you actually get kicked in the feels like that. We're on to IDW Turtles 124, hitting the reading pile. Star Wars High Republic Adventures Annual, cover A. They got a little mixed up earlier, but then Star Wars High Republic number 12, the variant. And then Don Davis, who I haven't seen in the chat yet tonight, must be really busy. But Don, we got a DC book, Robin and Batman. I'm actually kind of thrilled with Lemire's performance here. And Lemire and Wen. Love and Wen's art style in Batman here. But this is a Robin story through and through. This is a story about Dick Grayson. I kind of wish this was a 6-issue miniseries and not just a 3. I don't feel like they're going to be able to. Just gonna be sad that it is just sorry that joke was a little fishy. Yeah, Luke, that was definitely fishy. I just kind of am left. I'm gonna be left wanting more from this creative team in this Robin kind of this Dick Grayson kind of story. I'm digging it, right? Like kind of getting outside of my norms, and you guys helped steer me into that series and said you're not gonna want to miss it. This is the creative team that you like. You're not gonna want to miss it. So on to Berserker, the last bit of books for the night. The Tyler Kirkham 1 in 150 is absolutely fantastic. This Virgin variant should have been the book that they foiled out. This should have been the book that got foiled out. Maybe Kirkman said no. Kirkman, Tyler, yeah, I'm getting my Kirkman's mixed up. Yeah, Kirkham. My bad, Tyler. But this, in my opinion, should have been the cover that they foiled out. Like this would have been. I don't know. I can't speak for the rest of you guys, but I feel like this probably would have been one of the bigger covers for the week if it was the foiled out one. Maybe if they did a next step up, 1 in 200 or 1 in 250. But I'm noticing that there's probably lowered interest in this series now that they're at issue 6 because there weren't a ton of issues on the shelf. My LCS didn't order 1,000 copies by any means. They probably ordered just enough to get to the ratios because they knew there are some of us there at that LCS with pull lists that are pulling all of the ratios. This should have been the one that's foiled, guys. Honestly, that's my opinion. I love foil, and this is the one that should have been foiled. That being said, the ones they did foil were still good. So then you got the 1 in 50. You got the trade dress variant. That's the 1 in 50. So I'm happy to have another one of those, actually. I'd love to see that graded in both of them 9.8, like linear. As Otto says from 3 Men in the Basement, a linear set of those two Kirkham books would be fantastic. The 1 in 100 being a Virgin variant of cover B is phenomenal. Then the 1 in 25 Virgin variant is the Virgin variant of cover A. This actually would be really good for a remark or maybe a small sketch. Interesting. And that's the, I'm terrible with names, Garbett variant. Probably should have looked that up earlier. But moving right along means they... Ooh, good catch. They foiled out cover A, and that's all right. It's not bad. But they also foiled out cover B. So I'm actually pretty happy that they foiled out cover B. I think I would have really liked to see cover B be foiled out and that Tyler Kirkham variant be foiled out. Oh, man. Oh, man. So there's cover B. There's cover B. We get into focus here. And then cover A rounds out all of the new comic book day books this week. And we're at the 50-minute mark, which means we have just enough time to go over announcements and hit up this chat again real quick. Lee Garbett. Paul says, Lee Garbett. Sorry, that joke was a little fishy, he says. So yeah, announcements. For those of you that are just showing up or that have been here and hanging out, download the Whatnot app if you don't already. There is no need to purchase anything. Just follow ComicManAndy on Whatnot. And by following me, you will get on the list that I receive from the Whatnot seller support when I go to do follower giveaways. I'll copy and paste that list onto a wheel. We will be giving away one of these Invincible variants this Saturday. Let's go ahead and get that booked right now. 7 p.m. this Saturday. Whether I go for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 40 minutes, we're going to give away an Invincible variant there live on Whatnot, and we'll find 10 or 15 or 20 cool books. In fact, you know what? We're going to grab some C2E2 exclusives, some of the sold out C2E2 exclusives. We're going to throw them on Whatnot. We're going to put those up and see where it goes at $1. Everybody get their shanks out and let's get ready to have a shank fest. Throw the cage down and get a cage match going and a shank fest inside the cage. But there it is. There's new comic book day. As far as announcements, we talked about Whatnot this Saturday. We're going to go ahead and schedule it for 7 o'clock. Whether I go for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, it's going to be a follower giveaway. What that means is I'm going to have to actually record it. Ooh, we're going to go live on YouTube when we do the follower giveaway as well. That way it's recorded where people can go back and watch. Because if that follower that wins is not there, they're only going to have 24 hours to claim that book. If a follower that wins does not show up and does not claim the book in a day, we're going to get back on and we're going to do another follower giveaway. Yes, come on, Mama. I hope you and Zuni win. And we're going to be live here on YouTube so that people can watch. So cross-platform right there. So if you're following on YouTube, you should get an alert, hopefully. If you don't get that alert, follow on Whatnot to get a chance to win the book, and you should get an alert over there on Whatnot, which means we got to find some non-copyrighted music to bang out to or to hang out to and give away a book. But yeah, so let's throw some C2E2 sold out exclusives, and let's find some other really good reads and some other good variants. I'm already digging through the boxes in my head right now. Paul Dunn, charge your phone. Yes, wait, my phone is charged. So that's one of the things that I don't quite have OBS figured out with streaming from the phone onto OBS and some other things. So the phone will be right over here plugged into the wall looking at books. And then you guys will have this standard look at the Comic Dojo back here. And we'll also do a screen share on both devices to see the wheel spin and see the winner. Because that list of followers is getting long. It's time to celebrate all those followers. Yes, as far as announcement goes, mine died as I won last time. That's why he's saying charge your phone. Paul saw that wheel hit his name, and literally 10 seconds after that wheel hit his name, his phone died. So he had to get onto a PC to message me. So that being said, you don't have to actually be there physically in the live stream to win, but you have you have a day. If you don't claim it within a day, I'm setting an actual timer. There's a lot of people that don't return once they follow. Here's your opportunity to return. This is why you got to keep watching and keep following on Whatnot. Because if you don't claim it within 24 hours, it's going to go to somebody else, and we're going to pop back on and do another live stream to give that book away. And it is going to be a week of giving right before Christmas where you're going to give away these books. So that means, I remember that, Luke says. Yes, absolutely. As far as announcement goes, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which means we're going to be putting together a 2,000 subscriber giveaway for YouTube. That's going to be fantastic. I've got some really good ideas. I shared some ideas with Paul. Paul's going to keep them a tight secret. Tweet like a tiger secret. And I cannot wait to put this package together for somebody. And it is going to be so fun. And it's going to be an epic package. So those are the new books for New Comic Book Day that we've picked up. If I've missed anything, leave a comment down below. Comment in the chat of what I really need to pick up and read that I should be reading. Seemed like there were some things that weren't on the shelf that were sold out, so hopefully I didn't miss too much. And then don't forget, Whatnot, this Saturday, 7 p.m. We're going to go ahead and schedule that right now. Sling a couple of books and do a follower giveaway. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe on Instagram and YouTube here. And like we said, Whatnot. So, man, I don't want this energy to end. I don't want to give up here. I want to keep going. We should do an epic live stream for New Year's or something like that. We just got to hang out. Once again, that's New Comic Book Day, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Sal, 17, you guys still watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit that like button down there or dislike. Just hit a button down there. Just smack all the buttons on the way out. Epic package. That's what she said, Luke. Absolutely. Smack all those buttons on your way out the elevator because I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side for the next video. And remember, the most important part all day, every day, be original and take care of each other. Have a great week, everybody.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change. The roller boogie has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty. I love gold. I love gold. I love gold. I love gold.